Something stirs within the shadows across Middle-earth. Eyes watch patiently with foul intent from hidden spaces. Mouths whisper from darkness to corrupt the minds of the just. Hands reach with greedy fingers from unwatched places to grasp for power and wealth. Who will raise their own light against the spread of this darkness? Who will stand against the unknown danger that creeps ever closer? To where shall we look for heroes?
Aruwethel looked out at the ruined city as she pondered this latest news. She had been forced by necessity to work through agents, and was careful to choose only men with the blackest of hearts. Still, she could not trust that their selfish impulses might still bring her plan to ruin. She had instructed her agents to employ men to dig the Barrow Downs in secret. They could loot what they wished, but they were to recover specific items. Artifacts that would aid her master to return to power in the north. Combined, they would revive an ancient curse that she would present to her master as a symbol of her undying service, and perhaps more. She pushed that thought aside and stood further back under the outcropping that hid her from the light. Even though a steady rain fell from an overcast sky, she instinctively preferred the shade. Her agents had failed her by letting the items slip through their fingers. They must be recovered. She readied a note and summoned a servant to carry it forth.
With the unearthing of the letter hidden in Bill Fernie's house, it became clear that the events in Bree were part of a larger scheme, one that you're determined to unravel. Your fellowship spends another night in Bree, reasoning that entering the Barrow Downs is best done in daylight hours. After a hearty breakfast, you head towards the seldom-used trails leading directly into the Barrow Downs and muster your skills to follow a recent set of tracks that you reason might be the mysterious V from the letter. As you pass into the Barrow Downs, just a few hours later, you feel a damp chill rise in the air, like a cold, heavy blanket being laid upon you. Sounds seem not to carry, as you hear only your own voices and footfalls, yet even these cut off sharply, as if you're in a small room rather than an open wild. The low, flat hills loom large, shrouded by the close mist. You hold your cloaks tighter against the cold, though you suspect it comes from within rather than from without. Suddenly there are cries in the distance, the unmistakable sounds of men in terror. With a glance between you and your companions, you decide to follow the sounds. Someone is in trouble, and in this place, you feel duty-bound to answer the call. You increase your speed, though careful not to take a reckless pace to avoid stumbling over an unseen stone or moving headlong into an ambush. You step into a clearing where the mists lighten to find a battered and recently abandoned camp. Tents are torn and items scattered. A campfire still burns, and a few men lie dead, their eyes fixed in horror. Within the mist, you make out shapes darting at the edge of the camp, running about clearly in fright. More still fend off unseen figures that harry them, while still others simply cower. A pale man emerges from the mist and points at your party, his eyes glazed over.
"More of them over here!"
He shouts.
"Fend them off!"
More men emerge, brandishing weapons, and attack.
My heart warns me that the pursuit is now swift behind us.
I can walk this path, but others have not the skill.
I am Arwen, Elrond's daughter.
A red sun rises!
No! Stay back! Don't eat me!
A red sun rises!
No! Stay back! No! Stay back!
Denwyn should have been pleased. Valen returned from Bree with the missing artifacts in the nick of time, as his men had recovered the last artifact on Aruethel's list. She was a demanding lady, and Denwyn didn't relish facing her if they failed. If he failed, since he would be the one to bear her wrath, not Valen or that Bill Ferny, from whom he had kept her a secret. Then no sooner had he sent Valen on to deliver the artifacts to her, when a new threat emerged. Aruethel had given specific instructions to avoid certain mounds, but he had to disobey her to find the last item on her list. It was in the barrow of some ancient prince or other. After Valen left, the Barrow Downs grew colder and the fog grew thicker. They heard strange singing, but could not make out the words. Denwyn's men began to disappear, emerging soon after as something else, something not living. A host of the things attacked his camp, and Denwyn fled to the Barrow Downs, wondering if he'd live to see another morning.
Your fellowship makes its way cautiously through the fog, looking for grave robbers or more of the things you saw at the camp. You decide that the best course is to avoid direct conflict if you can, sneaking past any potential enemies. The fog grows ever darker as the day stretches on. You're wondering how you'll find your way in fog-drenched darkness at nightfall when you step into an area recently cleared by shovels and picks. You hear soft, menacing whispers in the distance, as well as hisses that you're sure mark the passing of more of those things that inhabit the long-dead princes and kings of Arnor. One of your party steps upon a twig, a sickening snap filling the air. You all take a collective breath, listening intently for a reaction that never comes. You make out a strange singing and voices whispering, "Come this way," or "I'm waiting." But nothing approaches. You need more caution if you are to proceed.
For Rivendell!
I am a servant of the secret fire. Go back to the shadow.
ground.
You would die before your stroke fell.
You find the broken entrance to one of the larger barrows, topped by standing stones. A voice beckons from inside. Try as you might, you cannot resist the call and enter, only to find the place a shambles. Treasures that were once carefully laid in this tomb are strewn about haphazardly, the work of shovels and picks scattered with equal abandon. The robbers had been here, and were none too careful in their work. A voice whispers, "Restore." Though whether it's a request or a command, you're not sure. There are 3 stone piles, once set in specific placement about the place, now scattered. You feel compelled to put them back in their proper order, and step forward when a groan fills the air. What had once been a robber stands in the back of the chamber, his eyes rolled up and his skin pale as milk. He wears a belt with the letter D engraved prominently on the buckle. The creature howls, his fingers bent like claws, as he rushes forward, teeth snapping.
The hour is at hand.
The enemy is upon us.
For Rivendell!
A red sun rises!
For Rivendell!
A red sun rises!
Welcome to Rivendell.
Ha!
bring news from Rivendell.
You would die before your stroke fell.
For Rivendell!
Farewell. The enemy is upon us.
For Rivendell!
You would die before your stroke fell.
For Rivendell!
The enemy is upon us.
There is much still to be learned.
For Rivendell!
The enemy is upon us.
Look before you leap, I always say. Away with you!
The enemy is upon us.
before your stroke fell.
The wounds of this weapon are beyond my skill to heal.
You would die before your stroke fell.
Ride forward! Ride!
A red sun rises!
For Rivendell!
Before your stroke fell.
Lonely rangers of the wild.
rises!
For Rivendell!
The enemy is upon us!
Nothing passes unnoticed. There!
For Rivendell!
The enemy is upon us!
A red sun rises!
For Rivendell!
You would die before your stroke fells!
Heck to it! The enemy is upon us!
I smell the stench of goblin kind.
For Rivendell!
The enemy is upon us.
There!
You would die before your stroke fell!
May I offer a song to ease your troubles?
Night on the night has come.
The enemy is upon us!
Love's waits.
For Rivendell!
You would die before your stroke fell!
Love's waits.
Heck to it!
You would die before your stroke fell.
The enemy is upon us.
You breathe so loud I could shoot you in the dark. My arrow flies!
A bright light overcomes you, and the sound of the drum resonates through the chamber once more. A voice whispers as if from a great distance, "Return!" You do not understand if this is a request, or simply that whatever haunted this place has been placated. You and your party stand at the center of the chamber, having fended off the spirit within this place, and having defeated the creature that was Denwyn. The cold weight you've felt since entering the Barrow Downs has lifted, and you can breathe easily again. The immediate task complete, you resolve to continue along the trail which leads north to the ruin of Fornost Durain, or simply Fornost, and now called Dead Man's Dyke in the Breelands. The Witch King of Angmar had conquered this once great city of Arnor, then lost it in turn when he was expelled from these lands. It remains today as the haunt only of the rangers who visit from time to time, and also, some say, by ghosts and other spirits who hide amid its scattered stones.
Aruethel paced impatiently as she awaited word from her agents. She wanted to rush to the Barrow Downs to take a direct hand, but she dared not. Revealing her presence would upset her master and draw the wrath of their lord. Soon, he had told them, the time to reveal themselves would come. But that time was not yet. There was work for her here in the old city, and only by her force of will were the assembled hillmen kept in check. All she could do for the time being was to remain in Fornost and await the word that the artifacts had been recovered. She had not taken a meal in some time and felt the sensation of hunger growing within. She had felt it more and more of late and would need to take sustenance soon. Suddenly, one of her servants appeared before her and kneeled, bowing his head and keeping his gaze at her feet. The artifacts had been recovered, and he had brought them to her directly. She would eat, she decided, and then her true task would begin.